Anyway, this is the reading for Earth signs for the last week of March, final week of Pisces. We've got Mercury in retrograde in Pisces, which makes it a very reflective, introspective kind of a week. When I post this on Monday, I'll have more of an astrology overview for you at the very beginning. Suffice it to say, it's a very introspective kind of week for many of us. Also, lots of big things happening, lots of major arcana coming out because this is a general Celtic Cross spread for a lot meant to be read in a very general way. All right, air signs. Let's see who we want to be. Who does it want to be this week? What are we this week for our air signs? What do we need to know? Ooh, well, we had two. I'm going to take the first one. I'm going to take the first one that jumped out. It's the 9 Pentacles. It's a gorgeous card. So we're coming up as 9 Pentacles in the heart of our spread this week, air signs. Being crossed is your challenge obstacle awareness by the Hanged Man. The second one that came up in the heart of our spread. So those two came out as the heart and the cross. The Hanged Man came up in the last reading as well. It's very strange how these general readings have been kind of really flowing into one another this morning. Super interesting. Welcome all of you who have hopped in. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sorry I don't have a moderator. Make sure you're doing the tap, 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 tap for the hearts. I really appreciate it. Make sure you do a thumbs up. You can also hold down and do a super share. It'll pop up your list. And I appreciate all the help you can give me. I try to do the same for all my TikTok friends, especially my group 7 friends. All right, down here in our subconscious tool shed, air signs have this Page of Swords. Stepping out of the immediate past is a Page of Wands. In the crown, we've got the 7 swords. Look out, the 7's about. And then stepping into the immediate future, we've got the moon. Us in our environment, air signs in their environment, another 9. 9 cups in the environment. Not surprising. We're all coming to the end of a cycle. Thank you so much for all the hearts. I see those. Thank you very much. Also, you guys, if you have a question for me, you can drop it in here and I'll spot it. I'll see it. I'll at least be aware that you had a question. However, a better place to send me a question is in messaging and TikTok. So I'm more likely to see it because sometimes it gets lost in this feed. Just letting you know. I'm happy to pull cards free of charge. Never going to charge you for that. All right. Our environment around us, air signs this week is giving us, this is my card, the Queen of Wands around us in the environment. And then Hopes and Fears sector up here has the Justice card. And then final potential outcome for air signs, the Fool. This is crazy. And again, lots of major arcana, just like before. Now, one thing I did not do, and I should have, I did not give a proper shuffling to my other deck, my Arcanum deck, which we're going to use now to pull a final card. I do a special little shuffle here. I take sections of it and go back and forth like this. And then I rifle them. And that makes sure we have an even dispersal of reversals. And now I'm going to pull a final clarification confirmation card. Whoop! Well, there it is. And it popped out right like that. It really wanted to be that one. And that doesn't usually happen in this deck. So we're going to read that either upright or reversed. I will keep it hidden here in my little pyramid, in a universe in a pyramid. That is a gift from my son who happens to be in the Air Force in the Middle East right now. So thanks to all of you who can send any good vibes, thoughts, or prayers and love his way. All right. So here in the heart of our spread, air signs, you're coming up with this. Again, okay, just stopping for a minute to look at the numerology laid out before us. We've got a couple, and we've got a couple of pages. We have the 9. We are the 9 in the heart, and we are the 9 in our environment. So 9s are the end of a cycle. We've definitely come to an end of a cycle, and we're closing it out looking pretty good. We're feeling good. We're feeling flush, and we're feeling flush emotionally. So that's really cool. So here we are, this 9 Pentacles. She's very satisfied. Pentacles have to do with health, wealth, finances, all your material well-being. Hi, Dylan. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you guys for being here. For all of you that are popping in, thank you so much. I see we have a February Pisces. My oldest is a Pisces. Very cool. Happy belated birthday. So I will be getting to water next. If you cannot stay on, I totally understand. These are getting recorded. I will do a little post editing and they will post on my YouTube channel on Monday at 6 p.m. So hop on over there when you get a chance to YouTube and hit subscribe, and then you'll get notified when this post. Plus, you'll become a VIP member and get a free lifetime membership to the YouTube channel when my membership opens. Free lifetime readings. Welcome. Oh, Kentucky. Awesome. Good to see you. Okay, so we're being crossed. Air signs are being crossed as their challenge obstacle awareness by this Hanged Man. I love the Hangman. It's looking at things from a whole new perspective. It's what happens when we're at the end of a cycle and we're stepping into new, where we are the Fool. We're stepping off into a new venture, maybe not even certain what lies ahead of us. And we are forced to look at things from new perspectives. It's awesome. That's how change happens. You don't have change until you do that. And that's in our awareness that we're now looking at things totally differently because we're at the end of that cycle. It's probably also why down here in our environment this week, we're the 9 of Cups. We're feeling very much gratitude and satisfaction for the being at the end of this cycle, but we're doing it in a way where we really are just really full of love and appreciation and feeling very fulfilled here, not just financially, but here. So that's awesome. We're bringing with us in our subconscious tool shed this Page of Swords energy. So the pages are the court cards who are just kind of the newbies, but their pages are so underestimated. In tarot, they have an impact and influence on a much larger part of the zodiac, first of all. They're not assigned certain signs. They're assigned a whole hemisphere of the zodiac. And they're the apprentices of the court. They're so sometimes kind of new. They don't know what they don't know. But so the pages, and they're often messengers. So because this is up at us in our subconscious, I feel like this is us pursuing like higher learning again, or relearning, or new learning. And that's what we're bringing with that energy is what we're bringing with us. That willingness to go back and learn and learn new things and communicate clearly with others and learning how to be better about that. Again, we may not know what we don't know. We're walking into the moon and we are the fools. So there's a lot of words of warning there about that. But I'm not going to dwell on that too much right now. Look, we're stepping out of page energy too in our recent past. So here's another page in the recent past is another page of Wands. So you made it, this may be you recently in the past. Again, Wands are all about your passions and following your passion and desires and building new things. And I feel like this is us looking out at stepping out into the world in new directions and following those passions. And that's what we've been doing recently, which may have required higher learning and stuff. And this Page of Swords energy we're bringing with it as well. And then in our crown is a 7 swords. Here we are with the swords again. And look, bottom to top. Okay, subconscious to what we're thinking about up here. Our crown chakra, which is super duper important, you guys, because this is where our thoughts and ideas are where it all starts. And what affects our emotions, which then creates the frequency, the vibration, the manifestation, right? So we've got the page down here and we've got the 7 in the crown. This is a guy sneaking off with 5 of the 7 swords. It's a card to warn about thievery, people trying to put one over on you. 7s are generally associated with the Chariot, which is all about trying to continue that forward motion, that forward momentum on our path by making sure we're keeping things balanced. So I feel like with this in our crown, we're setting out on journeys, a new journey. We are the apprentice, and we're stepping into the first week of Aries, the first zodiac. We're starting a new zodiac here after the first week of March. Sorry, the first week of April, which is this card. is the first week of Aries, which is the beginning of the zodiac year. And we're stepping into the moon. This is paths unknown. This is mysterious things. This is I don't know what I don't know, and I'm scared because I don't know. This is why in our crown, we have a 7 swords. We're thinking about, I'm worried that I don't know what I'm doing, and somebody's going to put one over on me. So just be careful when you have this in your crown, that if you're signing contracts or anything like that, have an attorney look at it. Don't be overly confident in yourself. Like, get the help that you need. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help from people who know more about it than you do, and protect yourself. Okay? So that's why that's there. It's because we're stepping into this moon energy. Another major arcana, we got the sun, now we get see the moon. That's okay. It's just things that you're curious about. It's eclipse. We got this eclipse. This is definitely Mercury retrograde in Pisces is causing us to like really look at things and be not sure. That's okay. Okay, something else I like to point out in the moon card when it comes up is the 2 dogs. There are 2 dogs howling at this moon, at this lunar eclipse in this card. And then there's all these creepy crawlies crawling out of the depths that we don't see coming, right? That's the stuff we're kind of afraid of. But the 2 dogs, one is a wolf, one is a domesticated dog, and they're both baying at the moon. And there's a message. There's an old Chinese proverb from, I don't want to misspeak and say what it's from and give it wrong attribution, but it's an ancient Chinese proverb that talks about these 2 dogs, the domesticated dog and the wild dog. And when it comes down to survival, which one wins? Which one survives? And the answer is the one you feed, right? And that's a very important story, because when things become frightening and unknown and you cannot see the path, both of these dogs start howling at the moon. And you want to feed the good dog, not the bad dog. And that's the one that'll win. And that's really, really, really important. There's always, when we get, I believe it's the most repeated phrase in the Bible is do not fear. Do not fear. Because it's when we get fearful that we tend to feed the bad dog because we're afraid. And yeah, so just don't be afraid. And let's get to the staff of our cross here. We again we're at the end of a cycle. We've got 9 cups. This is how we're feeling in our environment this week. We're feeling very satisfied, very fulfilled here, not just financially. Obviously, we're feeling okay financially, health-wise and stuff. Things are getting better. Okay, it might not be where we are yet, but we can see like the light at the end of the tunnel, I think. Anyway, we can all see that we're coming to the end of a cycle, and we have that, but we also have it. It's also something that's satisfying us on a more heart level, a soul level. The environment around us is handing us a Queen of Wands. I love this card. She's my card. She's got her black cat right there like I do. She's Sagittarius. She's full passion. She's all about pursuing her passions. And remember, the queens are the court cards that are in charge of healing the past. And so I feel like she's here in your environment telling you, you know what? It is okay that you are following your passion. You've got this new perspective. You're learning. You're following this new thing. And guess what? You're going to get blessed by this Queen of Wands saying, you know what? You go. You got this. You're good. I feel like that's a really good healing energy around you in your environment this week. Hopes and fears is justice. I think it's what we're hoping for. We're all hoping for justice in the world. Karma. We want to see justice happen. We want to see things come full circle. I'm sure that is our hope. That's what our hope is, for justice. We're all hoping for justice right now. Final potential outcomes, beautiful. That's us. That's the Fool, the world. We've done it. We've reached this cycle, and here we go. We're stepping out again, full of hope and optimism and faith and love and joy. He's pure optimism. It's beautiful. There are words of warning in this card. He's stepping off a cliff. He's got stormy seas behind him, meaning, you know what? This is not going to be necessarily challenge-free. You got, and you got the, but you got a companion trying to help you. You got a few tools in your little satchel. Yeah, but he's going to be going and gathering more tools along the way. But it's a beautiful card. Pure hope and optimism. All right, air signs. I wonder what our final confirmation card could be. Oh, good. I'm so glad you're going to subscribe. Yay. Thank you. And hi, Nika J. Thank you for being here. Thank you, all of you who have popped in. I'm coming to the end of my air sign reading. I started with fire, earth. I will do water next, and then I'll be signing off. I'm recording these. They will drop on my YouTube channel, Tarot with Kat, on Monday at 6, along with more of an astrological overview for your week. But thank you all for being here and for all the hearts and all the things. I really appreciate it. And thank you for sharing this live. You could do a super share by holding down on my face and it'll pop up your list, and you can share this with anybody else you know that's into tarot. Okay, let's get back to our spread. We're going to read this final card, either upright or reversed. It will give us further clarification or confirmation of this reading. What could it be? I mean, clearly, okay, I would love more clarification about this 7 swords in the crown. Our fear of being tricked or deceived somehow, or, you know, something like that. That would be cool. Let's find out. Oh gosh, perfect advice. Okay, this is perfect. We got the Hermit. We got the Hermit upright, which is solitude. So let me tell you about the Hermit. This is perfect. He's the 9th major arcana, you guys. We are the 9. We've got the 9 in our heart of our spread, and we're the 9 in our environment. And like I've been saying, we're at the end of a cycle. We're a little fearful. We've got, you know, we're a little fearful from the 7 swords, being deceived or tricked, or maybe not having faith in our own abilities. But just, this is your advice. Just be the Hermit. Be that 9th major arcana. He is now the Fool on his journey, has met all these people and learned some things and been through his Chariot moment, and now he's achieved some strength, which is the 8th, and then he gets to 9, the Hermit, and that's when he takes the time to be introspective. That's this week. Mercury retrograde in Pisces is a week for just being quiet and introspective, but the light in his lantern is the wisdom he's gained so far along his journey from being the Hanged Man, which is what we've done, and that's us also in the heart, is the Hanged Man, has given him the light in this lantern that is now lighting his way forward. So if you just slow down, take your time, trust yourself, be the Hermit, use that wisdom, consult the necessary people that you need to consult. Don't, you know, be overconfident. And you got this. You got this. And you get to start in this beautiful new journey. That's beautiful. I love that. That's a great clarification confirmation card that I love. All right. We're going to do our final water sign reading here in just a minute. I'm Kat. This is Tarot with Kat. Thank all of you who are still here, who hung out to watch.